Okay, so this is the story time of how I found out I was getting cheated on by my fiance 2 days before our engagement party and 5 days before a moving truck.
Story time, guys. And this woman is sharing a story time. She's telling us how she found out that the man that she's engaged to, about to marry, cheating on her. Big time. Big time cheating on her. And she did not know until 2 days to the engagement party. So sit down, relax, and watch the story time together. And I'll see you guys at the end of the story time.
Okay, so this is the story time of how I found out I was getting cheated on by my fiance 2 days before our engagement party and 5 days before a moving truck showed up to move us across states. So this is just about when I found out. Obviously, there's like a whole story to it and it's wild, but for the sake of time. So it was a Friday and I had just left my staff Christmas party and I was driving to his house to do Christmas with his family because we were moving from Texas to California in like a week or two, and the moving truck was about to show up and all this stuff right before Christmas. So we were going to do Christmas with his family because they're in Texas, and then do actual Christmas, like Christmas Day and stuff with my family in California. So I show up right away, something's off. He was supposed to be packing all day. I get there, he's acting weird, nothing's packed. I'm like, what the heck is going on? He lives with his grandma and they live on like 5 acres, and his mom and dad and brother live on the same land but in a different house. So he goes next door to his parents' house. I don't know why, he just goes next door. I'm at his grandma's house. He calls me and he's like, come over here, like I need to talk to you. I'm like, okay, something super weird's going on. So I go over there right away. I'm like, what the F's going on? You're acting so weird. And he's like, I cheated on you. Right away, I don't know how to process this. I'm like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Like, when would you have even done this? Like, we're always together. What are you talking about? This doesn't make sense. Why are you telling me this now? Like, brain goes into overdrive. I go crazy. I'm super mad. But because I was so overwhelmed, like I could really only fixate on like one thing, and I just kept asking him like, why now? Like, why are you telling me this right now? Like, we just got engaged 2 weeks ago and we're about to have our party, we're about to move, like this is crazy timing, what is going on? And I'm like, when did this happen? Who did this happen with? Like, tell me everything. So he tells me it was just some random girl and that it happened like a week or two into us dating and it didn't mean anything, and he didn't, he was scared of how much he liked me. He didn't know like what our relationship was going to be, all this stuff, right? I'm like, okay, crazy. I give him the ring back. I'm like, you have been keeping this secret from me our entire relationship. You've been lying to me like crazy. And I tell him like, you're not moving with me and my family. Like, that's not happening. And I'm like, I don't know if we're still together, if we're gonna be together. I don't know about anything else, but those two things are not happening, at least not right now. Like, I need to process this, and these things are coming up and I can't deal with them. Cancel the party, cancel the engagement, like you're not moving with me, and then we'll figure out the rest. So I'm so pissed, but he's like, I love you so much. I want to be together. We're going to make it work, all this stuff. And I'm like, no, like you lied to me our entire time. And like, that was such a huge thing for me. Backstory, he worked at a bar, and for the beginning of our relationship, I had really bad trust issues about that because I was like, you're out at a bar every night with all these like beautiful women, and it just made me insecure. I just didn't like it. I was like, I don't want to date someone who's out in that scene every single night. Like it drove me a little crazy. But by the time we got engaged, like I had already worked past all that. I trusted him completely, but come to find out, okay, we'll get there. Okay, anyways, I had a lot of trust issues. We had talked about cheating. I had talked about like I was a one and done kind of thing. Like, if you did that, I'm out of here. It's not a work through it kind of thing. And he knew it was like a big thing for me, like trust and honesty and all that stuff. So yeah, he's like, it just happened that one time. I'm like, I don't care. Like, this isn't happening. Like, I'm not doing this with you. So I'm pissed. I leave. I get home and I talk to my brother-in-law. So the girl he was cheating on me with told my brother-in-law because she worked at the same coffee shop. So my brother-in-law managed a coffee shop, and the girl and my ex both worked there. Granted, by the time we got engaged and found all this out, he didn't work there anymore, but that's how they all knew each other. So my brother-in-law was this girl's boss. So she came forward to him right after she saw we got engaged and said, I've been seeing him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you need to tell her, kind of thing. So my brother-in-law calls my ex and is like, you need to, like, is this true? First of all, he tries to deny it. He's like, dude, why would she say this unless it's true? So my ex fesses up. He's like, yeah, it's true. So my brother-in-law is like, you have to tell her. Like, you have to tell her, like, right now. And this is Friday. This is before it's like hours before I get there, hence why he didn't get anything done during the day. And so my ex is like, you know, like, I'm planning to tell her, I'm going to tell her, but I want to wait until after we move because I just want to, like, go to therapy with her and I want us to, like, work it out and all stuff. My brother's like, tough, dude, you have to tell her. Like, either you tell her today or I'm going to have her sister tell her, his wife, my sister, who I lived with. It's like, I'm going to have you tell her, you know, and like, you need to tell her or she's going to tell her. Like, she's going to find out today. Like, you're not keeping this, you know, held in or whatever. So that's why he ended up telling me. So I get home and I start asking my brother-in-law all these questions about the girl, like, going forward to him. And he tells me that she said to him that she had been seeing him since January. Not in January, since January. And I'm like, that to me means, like, continuously seeing each other, you know what I mean? And he was so adamant that that wasn't the case. So I talked to my brother-in-law for a while. Eventually I call my ex and I'm like, you need to come over because I've settled down a little and we need to actually, like, talk about this, because I was so mad before I didn't really get real answers and I couldn't even remember what he had said. So I was like, come over, we need to talk about this. So he comes over. I'm asking him all these questions. He swears up and down that whatever she said is wrong and he's telling the truth. It was like 2 weeks into us dating. It was one time. He regretted it. He never talked to her again, like, all this stuff. And I'm like, look, this is like your last shot, buddy. Like, tell me the truth, because if you're lying again, there's no coming back from that. And he's like, why would I lie? Like, I swear up and down. And I'm like, okay, well, look, like, not that it's okay, but, like, I can understand where, like, what he was saying, where he was like, I didn't want to tell you because then we got serious and, like, all this stuff, right? So I was like, okay, like, we're not together right now, but maybe in the future, like, we can work through this. I don't know what that's going to look like, but, like, I mean, I'm still very much in love with him, you know, like, we just got engaged. We were planning our lives together. I was in my mind trying to justify a way to make it work. I was like, we're broken up right now, but we'll see what happens. Like, you need to go to therapy because the fact that you were able to lie to me about this for so long is crazy, like, all this stuff, right? So he's like, you know, I want to fight for this. I want to make this work, all this stuff. So I'm like, okay, like, we'll see what happens, but I'm moving and we're broken up. We're not engaged, everything. So he leaves. The next morning, my sister goes to pick up my mom from the airport because she was going to fly in. This is Sunday. This was supposed to be our engagement party. She was going to fly in and surprise me for our party. So I'm at home with my brother-in-law. My sister and my mom are in the car on the way back from the airport. And I'm like, you know what? I just need to message this girl. I need to hear her side of it. Something is not quite adding up about what he's saying. And I need to be sure, you know what I mean? So I DM her on Instagram and I'm like, look, there's no hard feelings. This is not your fault, but I just need to know, like, from your perspective, like, what happened. That's when she proceeds to tell me that they were seeing each other for 11 months. And I find out that the last time they saw each other was a week before me and him went and looked at rings. And the reason that she came forward is because the night before she came forward, so Thursday night, which we had just gotten back from my nephew's Christmas recital, he texted her and said, I'm moving to California in 2 weeks and I want to see you before I leave. So he was planning to see her again. She tells me, like, I was in love with him and he basically just treated me like, you know, nothing. Like, he would just see me every once in a while, all this stuff, crazy, right? I message him. I'm like, you're a piece of garbage. You suck so bad, like, all this stuff. I go to send him this really long message and he at first is denying it again. He's like, this isn't true. And then I sent him the screenshot she sent me where he's like dirty texting her and asking her to come over and texting her while he was on vacation with me and my family, like, all this stuff, right? And she has all this proof and I sent it to him and then he's finally, after denying it, he's finally like, okay, yeah, I cheated. I suck. Sorry. So He fesses up. I go to send him this really long message like an hour later, and it fails to deliver. What fails to deliver? You blocked me? That's crazy. So I post on my Instagram story, it's crazy that I find out you cheated on me and you blocked me. His brother's girlfriend swipes up and says he didn't block you. He changed his number. Again, crazy. He changed number like an hour after admitting that he was cheating. He deletes all of his social media, his Instagram, his Facebook, his TikTok account, everything. He deletes everything. There's no trace of him on the internet anywhere other than like on pictures with me on my account. Other than that, like his brother deletes his account, like his whole family. It was crazy, crazy, crazy. Okay, so then I messaged him. He doesn't answer. He's blocked. What next? Gosh. Oh, so yeah, the girl comes over then and we start like comparing our stories and talking about like everything, and like we're crying together. She's like, I loved him. I was in love with him, all this stuff. Come to find out, what was it, like 2 months later, she knew about me the whole time. And I guess the reason that she actually came forward was because she found out we were engaged, and she was pretty much like mad that he chose me. Like, and I guess in her mind that was him choosing me, you know. And yeah, so she lied to me too. She came over to my house, was comforting me, I was comforting her, all this stuff, and she knew that he was in a serious relationship the whole time. So that was crazy. Yeah, he's crazy. And then, yeah, I moved to California. I talked to him one other time after that. I FaceTime him just trying to get more answers of like, why did you do this? How could you do this? I realized I'm never going to be able to understand it because I'm not insane like he apparently is. And so I just said, I texted him after we FaceTimed for a couple hours, and I said, I'm never talking to you again. And I blocked him, and I have never talked to him again. He's still blocked. And yeah, I don't know. I did see a couple months after that, which is crazy. His brother got married. I don't know the timeline of all that, but basically like me and him were supposed to, he proposed in Mexico. We were on a cruise and we went to Mexico, and he proposed on the beach in Mexico. And we were supposed to go on another cruise months later for his brother. That was like his family's thing. They loved cruises. I had never been on one, but that was like his family's thing. And his brother was about to get married, and their like bachelorette party, they were doing it like joined on a cruise, and I was supposed to go with them, and they were gonna go to the same place that we had just got engaged. So this is like months later, I don't know how long, but I see that his mom posts on Facebook a picture with him on that cruise going to the same place that we went to where he proposed to me. Crazy. That is crazy. That is like sociopathic behavior, like literally insane. Then like months after that, I see that his brother's girlfriend posted a picture of his brother's girlfriend, my ex, and this other girl I don't know at a church marriage conference. And I like looked at, it's all about like growing in relationships and like learning how to center God in your relationships, and like stereotypical like I just did something terrible and now I'm gonna turn to God so I don't feel like shit about myself. But yeah, absolutely crazy. There are a million billion more things to this story, but I guess this is just like the actual finding out about it. I went over to say goodbye to his grandma specifically that he lived with, and talked to him one last time before I moved. And this is the last time I talked to him after finding everything out, other than that one FaceTime. And I was like, look, buddy, like we are never gonna be together. Like this is completely over, completely done, like absolutely. So like just be honest at this point. Like there's no reason to lie anymore. Like just tell me. And he admitted that he was also having one night stands. So I had to come home and get tested and fear for my own health. So that was great. And yeah, my life was like terrible for a long time, and I was super heartbroken and devastated. And then I eventually went to therapy so we broke up at the end of 2023. All of 2024 was brutal, like completely going through it, total like just in like heartbreak mode 24/7. But then 2025 hits, and I'm like, okay, it's been a year, time to kind of get my shit together. I go to therapy for 6 months, and things really start to get better. Now it's been 2 years, a little over 2 years, and I'm like in a really good place. I feel like I could start dating again. Like I'm finally past it. And I just remember that I used to, in that first year, watch videos like this all the time, and it just felt so impossible to get to a place where I would ever be past it or over it or on the other side of it. I was so devastated, and I just remember like hoping and praying to God that I would get to a place one day where I could be like telling people like, hey, this happened to me and I'm actually doing okay. I actually got through it. It felt like that was never gonna happen. I was just so heartbroken and sad, and just it felt like I was never gonna be in love again. I was never gonna be in a relationship again. I was never gonna get married and have kids or trust somebody. I mean, I hated men, like all this stuff, and I worked on it a lot, and I'm finally in a place where I'm like, you know what, like I don't need to date, but I could, you know what I mean? Like I'm at a place where I could see myself getting married one day, and I don't believe that 100% of men are terrible people. And yeah, I learned a lot. I learned that I was a lot more naive than I thought. And I do sometimes get sad about, like, I'll never be that person again. You know, I'll never be the girl who was just so trusting. It's funny because I thought I had trust issues, but I did not. I never went through his phone. I wasn't checking his stories. I thought I was crazy, but I was really just crazy because I knew something was wrong, but I wasn't even doing anything crazy. I was never like checking anything, really. Like I never went through his phone, which now I'm like, God, I should have. But like literally, like he told me he deleted Snapchat like 2 weeks into us dating, and I believed him. I never had a reason not to. Even when I had trust issues, my trust issues were just about like him being out at a bar every night with girls, and like he would tell me that they would talk to him and they would like hit on him sometimes, and like that was where it came from. Like it didn't come from me thinking like, oh, he's texting women on his phone, like all this stuff, which he was. It's just so crazy. Like I learned a lot, and obviously not that I'm glad it happened. I'm not happy it happened to me, but I guess I am happy that I learned I could get through something like that, because I think the reason I waited so long to be in a relationship is because I was always so terrified of heartbreak. And then I went through like the worst kind of heartbreak, beyond anything I could have ever imagined. And I'm happy now. I'm doing good, and I got through it. And I guess I just wanted to post this in case there's anyone going through it right now in any capacity of being cheated on. Like, everything you're feeling is so valid, and I know what it feels like to think that you're never gonna get past it. I can't even describe how much I was there, but against all of my worst thoughts, like I made it through it, and life's good, and I'm happy, and I'm single, but it's not a sad thing anymore. It's just, yeah, I don't know. I hope that anyone who feels like they're going through it alone knows that they're really not, and that it really, really, really will get better. Okay, so I'm literally at work right now, on my lunch break, but I really didn't think a lot of people were gonna see this, so there's just a few things I wanted to kind of like reiterate or clarify or whatever. And then honestly, after this, I'm probably not gonna look anymore, because some of the negative comments like kind of get to me, and I've been spending the last 2 years trying to move past all of this. But the first thing I wanted to say is like, yes, I was very, very, very naive. I was 22 when I started dating him. I had never been in a relationship before, never been in a situationship, talking to anything. Like I said in my last video, I had always been so scared of heartbreak that I never put myself in the position to get hurt. I had always struggled with my mental health a lot, so I wanted to wait till I was in a good place. And once I hit my 20s, I kind of moved past a lot of those struggles and things. So, but yeah, this is like I hate admitting this, because in hindsight, so many things are clear, but like I was so naive, and I can't believe that I did this, but we got engaged on our 1-year anniversary. We were only together for a year. I know how crazy that sounds, and what's crazy is even at the time I knew it was crazy, and I had told him like I don't want to get engaged until we live together. Like I think we should move before we get engaged, and he did it anyways, and I was in love, so I said yes. But yeah, so that was we were only together for a year, and I really thought I knew him. Like it wasn't like, oh, I like this guy, I'm gonna marry him. I thought I knew everything about him. I thought I was so sure I wanted to spend the rest of my life with him. You know what I mean? Like I felt sure. But yeah, that's the first thing. Another thing I wanted to mention is like I know in my last two videos, like the part 1 and 2, like I was talking really fast and kind of like laughing and maybe not seeming like it was super serious, but that's because I was just trying to get it all out in 2 parts because I had tried to make it earlier and it ended up being a 47-minute video. So I was trying to like get everything of the story out, and yeah, but I mean it was like the worst thing that's ever happened to me. It was traumatic, and that sounds traumatic to anyone who's never been cheated on, but to find out that the person I had been with for a year and sharing all these moments with and would have, you know, trusted with my life was completely lying to me and completely not the person I thought, that really messed me up. And there were a lot of things I had to work through after that that I'm still working on, you know, like accepting that I am apparently very naive and not a good judge of character, and I was being deceived and had no idea. And you know, it goes past him just deceiving me. The reason he was in my life was because he was my brother-in-law's best friend. He came over to our house all the time before me and him even got together. And you know, I mean, my niece and nephew, my brother-in-law and sister's kids, they called him uncle after we started dating, and it moved really fast. And looking back, it moved way too fast, but he love bombed me so hard. And I had never even heard of that phrase until after our breakup. And my cousin Molly was like, girl, you got love bombed. And I had never heard of that, but that's exactly what it was. I mean, hindsight looking back, I didn't even fall in love with him at first. I fell in love with being loved and being in love and being put on a pedestal and feeling like I was easy to be loved for the first time in my life. And that was what made me fall so fast, so hard. And then to have someone that you don't know that well, that you haven't known that long, be so sure that they want you and they want to be with you, it felt amazing. I didn't, yeah, that's a huge red flag, but I didn't know that. I was so naive. And I was so trusting. He told me he loved me, so I believed him. He told me he wanted to marry me, so I believed him. He told me he'd never cheat on me, so I believed him. He told me all these things, and I just believed him. Looking back, that was really stupid of me, but you live and you learn. And I know there's going to be people out there that think I asked for this and I deserved it for being so stupid and naive, but I guess I just have to ignore those people because I did not deserve what happened to me. I treated him really well, and I tried really hard in that relationship. And yeah, it was like really, really, I mean, I used the same words over and over: crazy, devastating, sad, heartbroken, but I don't know how else to reiterate like how hard that time really was. Like that heartbreak almost took me out. Like I was just at the lowest point of my life. And so really the reason I made the video was just because I wanted anyone who's been there to know, like, it feels so impossible to move forward, but you will. Like that's why I made that video. And I know I said that, but it's the truth. Like you know, the drama is crazy, the tea is crazy. Like it is a really like wild story, but yeah. I don't know, I'm sure there's more things that I'll think of that I wish I had said because, you know, I posted that video thinking like a couple of my friends and maybe some random people would see it, but now that more people are, I'm like, wow, I should have included this, I should have added this, I should have said this differently, I shouldn't have said like 50 million times and count how many times I say the word crazy. But yeah, I just am someone who went through something really hard, who just wanted to like tell my story a little bit, I guess. And yeah, if you have any questions you can ask them, but Might not answer him for a while. It's my birthday in 2 days, and I'm going to turn off TikTok and ignore the negative comments and focus on me. So,
You know, when she said that he told her that he's cheating on her, the first thing that came to my head was for a man to confess that he's cheating on you and just tell you out of the blues without you catching him, somebody caught him and somebody threatened him. Later, she then said her brother-in-law was one that knew about the whole thing and told him to tell her. If the brother-in-law didn't know, he's not going to tell her anything. And that is how she just blindly go into that marriage. And she'll later start finding out later on that a man is a cheat. Imagine you being with someone for years. She said she never even think about checking his phone because she never even have that instinct of, oh, probably he's cheating on her or anything because she trusted him. Coming from somebody that has trust issues. And she just trusted him like that. Now finding out that he has been sleeping around. He has a girl that he has they've been together for 11 months while he was still in a relationship with her. See, I'm just happy that she found out these things before the engagement because most women fall into this trap and you might eventually find out later in the marriage, maybe 5 years later or 15 years later. I've seen a woman that found out that her husband had been cheating on her even before the marriage 15 years later. Imagine you be in a relationship and you think that your husband doesn't cheat because most of them are very good. They're very good cleaning their tracks. They will delete all the old thing, look at him deleted all his social media. Now I'm very sure he's going to go and meet another fresh girl from nowhere and start deceiving her all over again. They will delete all the tracks and you'll never find out that they are cheats until later on in the marriage. I'm very happy that she found out earlier, even before deciding to spend the rest of her life with him. Hey guys, what's your take on this video? Let me know your thought about this video down in the comment section. Respectfully, as always, Sugar Mary Davis, and thank you all so much for tuning in today's video. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please like and share and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.